includes different layers, starting from access layer, then discover, cleanse, MDM, ETL, delivery, and enterprise data warehouse. So we talked about all of those layers and how they are going to help us in order to build data warehouse. Yeah. So thereafter, or from that particular cycle, we understood like where exactly this particular data integration would come in. So it comes after MDM, right? We know that. Yeah. Now we got into the details of Informatica Cloud data integration. In that, we understood the importance of Informatica Cloud, and we've also talked about the differences between Informatica Power Center, this is a local version of ETL, and then cloud version of ETL. So after that, we started with understanding architecture of Informatica Cloud, where we can see in the bottom portion on-prem layer and top portion cloud layer. And we talked about all the components, like how they're going to help us in order to perform different kinds of data integration or ETL operations, right? So, but the major part as part of this architecture is going to be what? Agent. So agent is going to play a very key role, or which will act as a mediator between what? On-prem layer and cloud layer. So agent will take the responsibility of transferring the data from cloud to on-prem, on-prem to cloud, or on-prem to on-prem, whatever the combination would be. You know? So all would be taken care by using what this particular Informatica Cloud, right? I think we understood about this particular topic, right? So now that after that we have started off getting into like how to install, or sorry, how to register Informatica Cloud, and then how to activate, how to log on to this Informatica Cloud. Then we logged on to administrator service, where we could able to install agent, right? So we downloaded and installed agent successfully. After that, we have used agent in order to move or transfer data from source to target. So with that, we can conclude that our registration, installation, everything works fine without any issues. Yeah? So that's where we stop. Now, yeah, I think all of you could able to access the environment, right? Yes or no? Guys? Guys, all of you could able to access environment?
No.
It's not working today?
Yeah, it's not working for a few of the people.
Hi, sir. Shabrin has this side. Sir, allow me some time. Our team is looking into it.
Yeah.
Once it is working, I'll inform everyone.
Okay, fine. So now, yeah, meantime, I'll try to talk about so like some of the practical examples, like how we could perform from a local system. So before that, can you see, guys? So this is a link that we need to supply after successful registration, where we can see data mart AP means Asia Pacific, informaticacloud.com. So we just have to supply this to log on to Informatica Cloud. Now, whatever email ID that we have used to perform registration, right? So let us try logging on to it. Yes. So we logged on to it successfully. So in that, we can see n number of microservices. So here we are going to focus on data integration service. So ultimate goal of data integration service would be to perform ETL operations. Yes or no? I repeat, data integration service will be used in order to perform ETL operations, meaning how to extract data, how to apply the logic, which is a transform. Then transformed data will be transferred to a target, which is by using load layer. Yeah. So we need to make sure that this particular agent is up and running, right? So that is done successfully, right? Now let us try to what you call create a mapping where we need to understand like how to perform a mapping with the transformation logic. Because yesterday we just talked about a simple mapping without any intermediate transformation. The first and foremost are simple what you call transformation, which is going to be what? Filter transformation. So why we are trying to talk about the first, this transformation first? Because remember guys, when you get the data from the source system, so we should not apply the logic for all the rows in many business cases. So in such cases, what we need to do, we need to identify like how to limit the number of rows by using what? Some transformation. So in data integration microservice, we use what? Filter transformation to limit the number of rows. Now, so let us try to configure the source, filter, and target and see whether you could able to get the limited data or filter data in the target or not. No? So let us configure the source where I think we know like how to create a source connection and target connection. So we can start making use of it instead of creating every time, right? So let us say in the last session, we focused on dealing with what? A flat file, which we call SEQ1 or sequential file 1. Yeah. So use this sequential file 1 in order to limit the number of rows. Let us say we are using this particular file 1 where we got a very elementary data. So we can apply based on one column or two columns, three columns, this filter condition, right? So let us start with applying condition based on C1 column and see whether we could able to limit the data or not. So go to filter transformation and then see whether we could able to get all the incoming fields or not. We got it, right? And then we can go to filter and start applying filter condition. Can you see guys? So we can apply simple filter condition, advanced filter condition, parameterized. Yeah? So simple means like for example C1 equal to 1, C1 less than 1, C1 greater than whatever. We can use any relational operator in order to limit the number of rows, right? And then we have advanced filter condition where we can apply the compound condition in order to limit the number of rows. Yeah. So let us try to what we call apply simple filter. Add click on plus to add a condition where on the left side we can select a field name. In that we can see what n number of relational operator. Let's say we are using equality operator. Yeah. So C1 equal to 1, right? So that's it. Now let us try to configure the target and see whether we are going to get the expected result in the specified target or not. Yeah. Yeah, now we can supply the target file name. So which is, let us say, so I'll just put here simple filter target because we are using simple filter tjt dot txt. Yeah. And then say OK. That's it. So with this mapping part is done. Now we can supply the mapping name, mapping with a filter. In that we are trying to make use of simple filter. Yeah. That's it. And then save it. Yeah, now the mapping is valid. Now let us try getting it executed and wait for the result. Yeah, so meantime, if anybody has got any questions, so please try to shoot out, guys. I request everyone to ask questions, as many as you could, guys, so that we can make it more interactive because most of you are very well experienced, guys, right? Yeah. Go ahead, guys.
Yeah, I have one
Question.
question. So usually when we create a filter transformation in Power Center, we get a default condition which is true. So that will pass each and every row. So how can we do that in ISES? Is there any condition where we can simply
That's
pass
simple.
true?
If you don't, yeah, if you don't add any filter condition, it's equal to that. So it will all the
Got it.
records will be transferred to a target. Yeah.
Okay. And let's say if I have the incoming rows as C1, C2, and C3, but I only want C1 and C2 to go out and do the target. How would I change that? Because in Power Center, we have to map each and every attribute, right?
Same thing here on C. There are two ways to configure target here. One, create new at runtime. In that, by default, all the fields will be transferred. Then there is existing. If you select existing, right, whatever column that you want, we can just get it mapped. So that only those column data will be transferred to a target. I'll show that one example, Adi.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good question. Any other questions from anybody, guys? Yeah. So refresh this. See, we got only 4 rows. So now we can see whether it works as expected or not. Can you see here? So 1, right? C1 equal to 1. First row we have, and then last 3 rows. Total put together 4 rows we have. C1 equal to 1 we gave, right? Now we can verify the data in the target. So we have where we can see what? All the 4 rows. That's it. Yeah. I hope it's clear to everyone, right? Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Yeah. Now let us try to let's use what do you call likewise we can add any filter conditions. Let us say we need one more filter where we are going to apply compound condition. Compound means we can use logical operator or logic or bitwise operator in order to build what you call compound expression. Now let us take another filter transformation, but with the same source data and different target. Remember, guys, in general, for every condition, right, we have to have a separate target. Remember, yeah. So even if you take programming also, we build that's a simple if or else if ladder or a switch or any other decision making blocks that we use in programming, right? For every condition, we are going to build a separate logic and we calculate what relevant output. Same concept holds good even in what filter transformation. Now let us try to perform that practically. Yeah. So let's say we are using simple filter, but with what compound? Let's say C1 greater than 1. So let's say we need what in between 1 and 5 or 1 and 7, whatever, right? We can just add it. C1 less than what? Let's say 7. Yeah. So which means whatever data that we have in between 1 and 7, only those rows will be transferred to a target. Yeah? Equal to 7 or equal to 1 also, you'll not get that result. So you'll get from our sample data to satisfy this condition. What is the result that we expect, guys? So greater than 1 and less than 7. We should get only one row, which is what? 4. This means 4, 5, 6. We should get it. Yeah, that's result we expect. Let us see that practically. Yeah? So let us try to configure this target. Yes, now, yeah, I think now I'm trying to answer a question. Can you see guys here? So as part of selection, there are two options, right? One, we can select existing and new. If you select existing, let's say we are using existing file where we are going to transfer data. Now, as part of building a mapping, like what we do in Power Center. So here also, we can start mapping manual. Can you see here? So these are practical answer to question. Are they? So
Yeah.
C1 and C2. If you want only two fields, right? And third field is if you don't want it, just map it. That's it. So this way we could able to get the data of what you wanted. Yeah?
So we
Now
won't
let
be
us
able to do this in an option where we are creating at runtime.
run
We won't.
no.
Okay, so
No,
it
because
has to be existing.
exactly it
Okay.
has to be existing. But yes, so now let us try to run and see that. In case of create new at runtime, one, you don't have option to map it and you can't even see the target fields, which means all the fields data will get transferred to target. That's a default behavior. Anyway, if you want it, you can use it, or else we can go with the existing. Yeah. Fine. So now we got 5 rows here. Why 5 rows? Because there are two targets. One target has got 4 rows. Other target will have 1 row. Yes or no? This part we have already seen where C1 equal to 1. And this is what in between, right? 1 and 7. So only 4, 5, 6 we should get it. That's it. Put together, it's going to be what? 5 rows. That's what we can see, right? Now, let us verify the result in the target file. Go to target location and here can you see this is what we have used, right? 4 5. So this is how we can get whatever column that you want, and that we are expecting what compound expression. This is 4. That's it. Clear, guys? Now the question, let us say we need what do you call 10 filters or 5 filters or 20 filters, whatever. So which means if you have n number of conditions, one, you will have n number of targets, and second, n number of links from source to filter. and then separate filter transformation. See, there are two additional overheads over here. One, transferring data from source to filter, and then having separate filter. And target derivative is mandatory. So these two things are extra overhead. Yeah. So let me put it in the notepad. I don't know whether you got it or not. So I didn't talk about it properly. So let us say we got filter one, target one, filter two, then target two. Similarly, n number of filters, n number of targets. That is very clear. Yeah. Now let's extend from source. We need to get the data, right? Filter one, same source. Then we need to get it out of what? Filter two, and so on. So same source, but n number of filter conditions. So in this, can you see any overhead here? One, there is going to be data transfer from source to every filter transformation. So which is going to be what you call lot of overhead to transfer data, right? That's one thing. If a n number of filters, proportionate overhead you can see here. Next, there is going to be spawn overhead that we can see as part of the spawn, in a sense. For every condition, we have to have separate filter transformation. For every filter transformation, we need to create a thread, because Informatica follows what? Multi-threading architecture. So for every transformation, we have to have separate thread to get the job done. So as a result, we are going to get into what? Spawn overhead. And second, data transfer overhead. So how are we going to limit or overcome these two limitations? Can someone answer this question, guys? Quickly. So in programming, we have got else if ladder. Yes or no? We all know that. Which means what? There is going to be if condition, then some logic, then else if, then some condition, and then logic, then else if, same thing, some logic, so some condition and logic, and so on. Likewise, you can have what you call n number of conditions. So which means in this case, what happens? So irrespective of whether this condition got satisfied, it will still execute. This will be evaluated. This will be evaluated. That is also going to be added overhead. So how are we going to cut down what you call fall through that would take place over here as part of else if ladder or with the filter transformation? So that's where we can we can go to another transformation which we call router transformation. So which is equal to what? Switch in programming language. Yes or no? In switch, we can have a label. By using a label, we can have n number of case blocks. For example, case 1, logic 1, you know, and then followed by what? Break statement. Then similarly, we can have case 2, then we have got logic 2, then followed by break. Likewise, you can have n number of case blocks with appropriate logic, and finally we can have break, sorry, default block where we could able to capture the records which are not captured as part of case statements. So in this, what is the benefit we are going to get it? Look at here. In case of filter, for every condition, we have to have separate filter transformation. But in case of this, we don't need that. Just by using one, we can take care of all the conditions. So spawn overhead is taken out. As a result, data transfer also is not required, which means we will have one source, then followed by router, then followed by n number of targets. That's it. Right side you cannot avoid. If you have two conditions, then there is going to be two targets and so on. But on the left side, source to what is the router, so we don't need to have what I call data transfer overhead. Yeah? So in this particular router transformation, we can add n number of what you call conditions. That's why we use subgroups. For each subgroup, one condition. That's it. So now let us try to understand how to perform that practically by using this data integration service. Yes. Yeah. Now, any questions? Let's functional questions. See, because you're all seniors, right? So you can ask very logical questions which can add value to your profile also. Like for example, performance effective questions or any other complex questions which might add what you call value to your career and also this particular what you call building optimal solution. Remember that, yeah. So let us try to create a mapping. Yeah, so here we can go with what? Router transformation. So let me add one question here. Yeah. Let us say we have got only one condition. In such cases, which is a better one, router or filter?
Filter.
Answer is what? Yeah,
Filter.
perfect. So one condition is filter is going to preside over router transformation. If you have more than one filter, then better to go with what? Router transformation. Yeah. So let's use a source. Yeah. Now, yeah, incoming fields are same. Yeah. Now let us try to add output groups. Can you see here by default you have default group, which means so all the rows will be transferred to default group. That's a default behavior. But if you want to add our own group, let's say group one with where we are going to use what C1 equal to 1 because we have done filtering with the filter transformation, right? We'll try to do same thing with a router. We should do the same result, but it's going to be performance effective results. That's all, nothing else. Yeah? So let us try to configure simple filter. Click on plus, then select C1 and then say 1. That's it. It's over. Let us see the result first, then we'll add another condition. Mapping underscore router, which is I'll just add two conditions. For now we have just added one. I'll extend that. Fine. Let us save it. Yeah, it's invalid because we can see why it is invalid, guys. Can you see that there is a button here? You can just click on it and see what went wrong. So we did not even configure. Field mapping is not done, connection is not specified, object is not specified. You can just minimize this and then configure the target. So go over here and select target file connection. And supply target file name. Yeah, yeah. Let's use create one time. So router with the single filter dot txt. Yeah. So now let us set it. Yeah, and done. Yeah. So meantime, you can ask questions, guys. Let's make this time Very effective, guys. Ask questions. Any kind of question. Yeah. Yes, Gayatri, you want to say something? Okay,
That was by mistake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's try to refresh. We got two rows. Let us see. 6 rows are input and 2 rows got transferred. Let us see what are those rows. This one, right? You can see 4 and 7. So which means C1 greater than 1 we give, right? This one we give. Not equality. So let us see. Now, let's say we are going to add one more condition. See, we got different values, right? For instance, because default target. So nobody asked this question. Why we got different result than expected? We expected what? 4 rows, right? But we got only 2 rows. Reason is what? Default group. Let us see that. If we expand this plus, we can say default is connected to a target. So default means leftover records, right? Other than group 1 data. So 4 and 7. Now add our own target here and connect. Yeah. Now we can see C1 equal to 1 data. Yes, so C11.txt, right? Okay, let us save. And run. Yeah, any questions, guys? Now we'll get our own custom target. Just C1 equal to 1. Yes, see, we got total 6 rows. Why? Because in router transformation, we don't lose any data because whatever is not taken care as part of our own condition, right? They'll be spill over to the default target. That's a default behavior. Even in normal programming object is same. So now let us look at the result. So we got the same as what we got in filter transformation. Now let us try to what you call apply compound condition and see whether we can perform building it or not. Let's go to router and add compound condition. Yes. So we can also use another advanced option. We'll see that C1 greater than 1. That's what we give, right? And then C1 less than 7. Yeah, that's it. So we should get 4 in this case. Yeah. Now we can add another target to capture this second custom condition. Yes. So let's add this. I'm not giving meaningful names for every transformation, guys, because this to save time. That's straightforward. Yeah. So here we can see what router with compound condition dot txt, yeah, and then say okay. Yes, yeah. Then we can just save it. And run. Yeah. Yeah, any questions, guys, from anybody? Yes, we got 6 rows. 6 rows is all the rows, but we can see target to 1 row, default in what? 1 row only, because earlier we got 2, now it is 1. So let us verify that compound. So 4, 5, 6, whatever. So earlier we just mapped only C1, C2. Now we are using generate newer content. So that's it. Now the question, do we have any limit with respect to adding the number of conditions either in filter or in router, guys? Answer is what? No, there is no limit. As long as you have enough resources where the agent got installed, right? Then we can have proportional number of conditions that can be added in a filter transformation and also in router transformation. So that's it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like in router, can we have a provision to have or condition?
Yes. So very, yeah. In that case, let's try to add it. Yeah, let me add it. So if you go, yes. If you go to output groups, this AND condition we have added just now. Yes, sir. If you want to have our condition, what we could do is we can just select compound where we can try to define what we call filter condition. Like for example, C1 greater than 1 or C1 less than whatever 7 or whatever you want. So because it's a string, right? So we can use what um, single quote, but logically we should apply this for numeric data, not for string data. So it's better to change the type from string to integer or any numeric. Yeah. So this way we can add this or condition. Got right? Yeah. So then, yes, please. Yeah. Then we can have some corresponding target here where we capture either 1 or 7, whatever. Yeah. And then say. Okay, because we did not configure target. Yes.
I have one question here. We are connecting that group to the target, right? On what basis it is mapping to that column? So yes, since we are not explicitly connecting the columns,
Sorry, on what basis?
while connecting from group to the target link, how it will map the columns between the router to target?
How it will get mapped automatically? That's what I mean.
Yes.
Okay. So remember, there's a concept of what all, none, some. This normal programming concept. Yeah. So which means if you don't specify anything, or if you specify some things, it is some, or even if we specify without any columns, none. That's what we follow any programming. Same concept holds true in tool also. In a sense, if you try to select or generate new at runtime, by default, it is going to transfer all. That's a default behavior. Yeah. So let's say router with R condition dot txt.
So if you want to generate the file name with timestamp, so we need to define the timestamp format along with the file name.
So there is a one dynamic option, right? Let me show that anyway. Let us analyze. There are three, I think, options that you guys would have seen. Dynamic file name, right? Where you can specify date or date time or whatever expression that you want, right? You can form an expression so the file name will be based on that particular expression.
So we need to check that the tick mark, like we need to check that box, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Then you can use any expression uh, to create a target file name. Yeah.
Okay.
Got right. This is similar to Power Center. Power Center also we do the same thing. Yeah. Yes, we got 11 rows now because we have used OR condition, right? So OR is adding what we call many rows and means if both are true, then only result is true, right? Or else false. Yeah. So because of target is adding what all the rows. C1 equal to 1, there are 4 rows. Or 7 we have, right? Or C1 equal to 7, whatever we gave, right? Less than 7. Rest of the rows. So all the rows are covered here. Yeah. So that's it. Like how this particular R condition works. Yeah. Anyway, these are very straightforward things because now let us try to focus on what bit complex transformation. So you all need to concentrate now. Yeah. Okay. So because you're all seniors, right? Let us try to focus on what bit complex ones. So now let us start with understanding like how to invoke third-party web service. For example, let us say there could be, or there will be, or there are n number of portal applications where they have exposed. Some could be freely available services, some could be, let us say, commercial services. Now the question, we need to avail the capabilities of what we have in third-party portal application where they exposed their capabilities in terms of what service. That is going to be the question mark. To answer that, within data integration, first, can we talk to third-party service or not? Which means, can we build any connector from IICS to third-party service or not? Answer is yes. Now, once you connector is ready. Next step is what? Can we try to invoke that particular third-party service to get the functionality of what we have in third-party service? So to accomplish that, we have got web services transformation through which we could able to get the job done. That is going to be the concept. Now, let us try doing it practically. I hope you got the what you call concept, right? Yes or no, guys? Simple. So we got third-party service, fine, which is available in the form of portal. Next, first, we need to get the functionality from third-party portal. To do that, first, we can build a connector because we need to establish connectivity with third-party web service, right? So let's say in what you call ISCS, data integrations, what you call microservice, we got business service through which we can create a connector through which we can talk to third party freely available service or commercial service. Next, we need to make use of this connector in order to apply the logic and see whether we could able to get the functionality from third party service or not. To do that, we can build a mapping. In that we can supply the source, any source, table, file, application, legacy, machine learning, whatever. Then followed by there is a transformation called web services transformation, where we can invoke the business service by supplying request mapping, get the response from this particular web service and get it transferred to a target where we could able to see like whatever service that is offered by third party portal application. Yeah, that is the concept. Now the question, how third party portal can what you call make their service available for outsiders? Answer is what? One, we can access it what with XSD, or we can access it what WSDL, or we can also access it what XML, or we can also access it what JSON. So which means what? There are many ways through which we can what I call access third party web service. Yeah, WSDL, XML, JSON, or XSD. One of these media of communication, we can use it to talk to web service, right? Now, let us say first and foremost thing, web services definition or descriptor language. Yeah. So using which we can get what the descriptor that would contain what you call one attributes and second operations. That's it. If you just understand these two things, we could able to get the operation with a specified attributes. For example, attributes means like inputs. For example, let us say we need to perform Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion or Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion. In that case, for a given Celsius, you will get what corresponding Fahrenheit. For example, F is equal to, I don't C into 9 by 5. Let's say plus 32. Simple formula, right? So in this case, for a given Celsius value, to be able to get Fahrenheit value. Assuming that this particular functionality was built as part of this portal application. So in this case, we supply this, we get this. And operation is what? Celsius to Fahrenheit response. Yeah, that's the one thing. And second, see guys, any portal application, they can be accessible, one, with HTTP protocol, and second, with the SOAP protocol, and third, we can also use REST protocol. So one of these protocol can be used in order to interact with what? Third party portal application. Now let us say, if you take HTTP protocol, where we can have get and or we can say request and response. Yeah. So which means we can use this particular what request and response through which we could able to what you call interact with the third party portal application. Clear guys? So that's it. This is a common thing guys, like HTTP request, HTTP response. No? So SOAP request, SOAP response, REST request, REST response. What do we request here? We request by supplying Celsius. We expect the response, which is a Fahrenheit value. That's it. It's as simple as that. Now, let us try to do it practically so that you will understand better. I hope the concept is clear. Yes or no, guys? Yes or no? I think you all could able to hear me, right? Yeah. Say yes. Or some problem from my side.
Yes, we were able to hear you.
Okay, thank you. So now let us try to what you could perform it practically. First thing, let us say one of the portal application which is let's just say to Fahrenheit, same thing. We have got this a first formula like we can see F equal to C into 9 by 5 plus 32. Now we need freely available services in W3 schools. We have it anyway. Can you see here? You can just go to this particular W3 schools and see what does it contain. It contains what? Two operations, namely Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to what? Celsius. So click one of them. So in this, we could able to see what we can, if we supply Celsius value, we are going to get Fahrenheit. Yes or no? So if you look at this particular page, where we can see what uh, SOAP protocol with appropriate version 1.1 and 1.2. And we can also see what HTTP protocol, which means this particular service is available to invoke it by using what? Two types of protocols, HTTP and SOAP. Now the question, in order to make use of this particular service, right? First of all, we need to understand what kind of descriptor that we have it so that we can make use of it in order to avail this particular conversion, right? So now let us try to supply WSG over here so that we could able to see the descriptor information. Can you see guys here? Fahrenheit to Celsius, and then this is a get, or we can say request and corresponding response. And then here also we have got a request and corresponding response. That's it. Celsius to Fahrenheit, here Fahrenheit to Celsius. We have got both. And then we can also see in the bottom, SOAP protocol in and out, HTTP protocol in and out. Then in the bottom, we could able to see operations. Can you see operation here? Fahrenheit to Celsius and Celsius to Fahrenheit. That's it. Then we can also see attributes like what we supply from the user in terms of get and post. That's it. So this is how descriptor would be made available to invokers. Like whoever wants it, they can use this particular URL so that we can avail the functionality of what we have in freely available web service. Clear, guys? This is a one way to invoke. We'll talk about some more ways, like how to make use of REST protocol or with JSON, with XML. We'll see. There are lots of things that we need to discuss, right? We'll get in there later. Okay, so that we understood like how we could able to take a look at WSDL in this particular conversion. Now let's get into data integration and build a mapping so that we could able to avail the conversion part within ISCS. Let us see how it will be done. First thing, we need, as per the theory, what we discussed was we need to start building a connector here, which is going to be, or which will happen through what uh, business services, right? So let us try to build business service definition, so which we call a component. Through component we can do it. So let's go to components where we can what you call where we can see what you call business services and start clicking on create. Yeah. So now once we have this particular business service, so we can use it for web service connection. Fine. Then this we can store it like wherever you want it. And default, let's say dev project extract. There's a default folder also. Wherever you want, you can just store it. That's straightforward. Now we have to create connection here. So web service underscore say C or F to C or C to F connector. Right? So we can supply same description here and select. Can you see there are two ways of connection type that we can use? One through REST, second with a WS consumer. Let's say we are using what? Web service consumer. Yeah. So now let us try to select the runtime environment and then authentication, where we can see what? Other authentication. In this, we need to get what? One WSL URL, endpoint URL, whatever. So as we discussed earlier, we all could able to see what you call WSL URL, right? Yes or no? Let me copy this link and paste it into this. Same way we can also do it for endpoint URL. Yeah. Now the next question. Can you see here? HTTP username, HTTP password. Remember guys, some web services would require authentication. In such cases only, we can supply the username and password. Some cases, we don't need to supply username and password. So in this case, it's a freely available service, right? We don't need to supply it. That's why we can see optional. If it is a red star mark, which means mandatory fields. That's it. Yeah. Any questions in this, guys? And then say okay. Yes. Now connector is ready, but once you connect, right, we should get the operations that we have within this WSDL, like we have seen, right? Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius, those two operations, right? Let us see. So click on select operation, then click on select. Yes. Can you see, guys, there are four operations here. Two are based on SOAR protocol and two are based on HTTP protocol. Let's say we are using what? HTTP protocol. First one, Celsius to Fahrenheit. Yeah. Yes. And then say okay. Yeah. Now, similarly, we can repeat the same process in order to perform other conversion. So click on select. So here we have Fahrenheit to Celsius. That's it. So we've got only two operations, right? And then say okay. Yeah, that's it. With this, we can just save and come out from this. Yes, let us save it. Over. Yeah. Any questions, guys? So far, we talked about what are this particular WSDL contains, and then we could able to build a connection from ISCS with portal web service by using WSDL URL, right? And then next step, how to make use of this particular connection. So these two things are done, right? Now we need to go with what? Building a mapping and see whether we could able to perform this conversion as part of mapping or not. So that's what we are going to do now, right? Let us try building a new mapping. Yeah. Any questions, guys? So you guys need to start shooting up questions because we need to make it more interactive. Ask any kind of question, guys. Yeah. I'm supposed to answer. I'll definitely answer any kind of question. Even if I don't know also, I'll try to get the answer, guys. Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Like I missed out the like how you connector you install
Sorry, you missed.
connector you have used at web service connector. I think.
Okay, you missed it. Huh?
I missed it.
This one, right?
Ah,
Yeah, it's very simple. Yeah, we just have to go to new, go to components. Components, one of the asset we have it in ISCS. Within
Okay.
that, we can set business services component. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Then click on create and supply business service name and new and supply connection and connection type, let's say WS consumer and
Okay.
supply runtime environment. Let's say authentication could be anything. Let's say other authentication we give. Sublet URL and then set OK. That's all we did.
Okay.
Right?
So like it is comes under like web scraping on XML, right? It is related to that only.
Yeah, similar to that. Yes, you are right. Fine.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah, once you configure, right, it would appear like this. See connection name we give. Then from that connection, we got WSDL. Right? From that WSDL, we got two operations. We have got two operations that would appear as part of the list. Yeah. Done? Yes. Yeah. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Now.
So this is the HTTP. Yeah, one question. So this is the HTTP response, right? That we will be getting, not the SOAP one.
We can also get SOAP one, and then we started with this. We'll also see that.
Okay, so what is the difference between HTTP and SOAP?
It depends on, let us say, if our application is fine-tuned based on the SOAP, then we can go with the SOAP or else HTTP. It all depends on how well your application has been built. The functionality wise, it is same in both the cases. For example, there are some external applications which are purely driven from SOAP. In that case, we focus on SOAP. There are some applications where they focus on both. Out of both, one will be tuned one, other one will be just good test to get the functionality. So depending upon what customer expects, we can choose appropriate protocol, and based on that, we can get the corresponding response by using one of these protocols. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, can we go with the next step, which is what? Building a mapping. Yeah. So let's build a mapping. Yeah. So here, so we need to make use of web services transformation, right? Now go to source, configure it. So we need to supply either Celsius or Fahrenheit as input, right? So those values, we can get it from any media, like a file or table or application, legacy, whatever, right? We can get it from anywhere. Let's say we are using flat file data, and from that flat file, one of the column will be taken as input as Celsius or Fahrenheit. So let's use that. So click and select. Yeah. Now we can see seq1.txt and then say OK. Yeah. So here you can see what three fields, right? So one of the field we can use it as a Celsius or Fahrenheit. Now we can change the type from string to integer or any numeric type, because we are going to apply or perform numeric operation, right? So in this, let's say we are using integer and then configure web services, right? So before that, we can see incoming fields. We got all the fields, right? And that will be integer type. Yeah. So let's go to web service and select so go to project folder. Yeah. So can you see here we got multiple business services. So let's say we are using first one because we created today already, which is 19th. Yeah. Now once you create it or once you select it, right? So we can see here two operations, because as part of this business service connection, right? We have selected both the operations, right? C to F and F to C, which is Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius. Yeah. So let us select the first one, which is going to be Celsius to Fahrenheit. Yeah. Clear? Next step, request and response. Can you see here? So now we need to supply the input here, which is going to be Celsius value. Yeah. So on the right side, we can just expand it, where we can see we need to supply Celsius as input. So text C1, get it connected to Celsius. Yeah, clear guys? Yes or no?
Yep.
Yeah. Now this is a request part. Next, response, which is a function, right? So here, if you try to expand it here, we got Celsius to Fahrenheit result. We can just select it so that it would appear as part of the output fields. You can see, right? You can just observe this and ask questions if you have any questions. Yeah. So normal target data, we capture it as part of envelope group, and faults, in case if there are any faults within this web service, those faults would be captured as part of a separate group, which we call fault group. So within that, we can see fault code, fault, fault factor. That's it. Yeah. So that's it. Now you can just ask questions after looking at this options. No questions? Fine. So once we are done with that, can you see here in output fields, we can see Celsius to Fahrenheit result and also fault related attributes. Now we can map this to a target. The first target is going to be the conversion result, which is Celsius to Fahrenheit. Let us configure this. So go to target. and supply what target file name. Yeah. So which is going to be what web service with Celsius to Fahrenheit dot txt. Yeah. I'll put target also. Yeah. So this is what you're asking, right? Use a dynamic file name. That's option. Yeah, fine. Say okay. Yeah, so that's it. Now, if you want to capture false, if there are any false, right, then we can use another target where we can map from web service to second target. In this, we can select what? Fault group. In case if there are any faults occurred within this web services transformation, right? So those things will be captured as part of fault group. And then say okay. Now we can supply the mapping name. Yeah. So mapping underscore web services with the conversion, because we are using conversion third party service, right? Yes or no? That's it. And save it. Okay. Mapping is saved, but it's not valid. Let us see. Again, target one is not configured. Let's configure this. Yes. Now we can supply what faults. So web service faults target not txt. Yeah. Now let us save it. Yeah. Now the mapping is valid. Yeah. So let us try to run this mapping and monitor the results. Yeah. So meantime, you can ask questions, guys, if you have any questions. Yeah. These are a bit complex transformations, guys. So that's where you need to put in a lot of effort. That's where we can see the real power of ISCS. We can see some more complex transformations like structured parser, where we can make use of it in order to perform converting unstructured data to structured data, where we use in artificial intelligence clear model, where we can convert unstructured to structured by building intelligent structured model. We'll see that anyway. So we need to focus on such kind of complex transformations. Simple ones anyway I'll cover, but the focus will be towards complex ones. Simple ones, even if we read through manually, can get it quite easily. Complex ones we can get it, but it will take time. Yeah. Okay, so let us try to refresh this. So it is completed, right? All the 6 rows got transferred to a target. Yeah. So this way we could able to what you call invoke third-party service within ISCS. But so we need to look at first statistics. Yeah, so 6 input rows. All 6 rows doesn't have any problem. No faults occurred. So now we can look at the result in the target. Can you see we got what 33.8 whatever. Let us try to evaluate this whether it is right or wrong, right? So we have already seen the formula, right? Celsius to Fahrenheit formula, which is C into 9 by 5 plus 32. So let's apply that. Calculator. Yeah. So C first value is what? From SE to 1. We mapped what C1 column, right? So go over here. C1 column is what? 1. Yeah. So now 1 into 9 by 5, which is 9 by 5. So which is 1.8 plus 32. So 33.8. Yeah. So that's what we have as part of first row, right? So rest of the column data that derived from the source, because if you go and look at the origin from where these fields have come from, so that we can see as part of the mapping itself. So let me open this mapping where we can open now web services transformation. Here we can see what output fields, we have seen it already. Response mapping, we have seen it already. Yeah. And then incoming fields, we can see it here. Can you see origin is what SEQ1 here? Yeah. Source file, right? That's the origin from where we got the source data. Yeah. So now, if you look at this, what last one, this Celsius to Fahrenheit result. For this, origin will be web services transformation. So that's it. Yeah. Now, same way, we can also calculate this one. We'll just calculate one. Will come out from this. What is the input value here? Second row, 4, right? So let us apply 4 here. 4 into 9 by 5, right? So 4 into 9 by 5. 4 into 9 divided by 5 plus 32. So we got 39.2. So same thing we could able to see here. That's it, which means it is working fine. So this way we could able to invoke third-party service from IACS quite easily. It's not complex at all. Yes or no, guys? Yeah. I hope all of you could able to understand this. Yeah. In case if you have any issues, please let me know, guys. We can talk about it. Yeah. Yeah. Any questions from anybody? All clear, huh? Guys? You're all there, right? Yeah. So, okay, guys, let's take a break for 10 minutes. After we come back, we'll continue. Yeah. So, because we kept on talking continuous, right? So, we'll meet around 4:15. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Hi team, this is Shabrin Raj. So hi team, I kindly apologize from our team. Due to some technical issue, some network has been dropping out, so that because of this only, we are getting lab challenges. Please allow us some more time. Our team is looking into it. Once it is done, we'll will inform you on the same. Thank you for your patience, and we kindly apologize.
Okay, thanks, madam. So anyway, we have lots of things to cover. So I'll cover other topics during this time. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so let us continue, guys. So we talked about like how web services transformation is going to work and what comes in, what happens, what goes out. All that we discussed practically. Yes, sir. So now that we need to repeat the same process in order to get the result from other conversion function. Right now, what we did was we supplied sales as input, then we got foreign hit response. So now if you want even other operation result, then we can just use another web services transformation, get the data from the source and configure second web service transformation. Let us try doing it. Yeah. So we can see business service is same as earlier and select Fahrenheit to Celsius, which means in this case, we are going to supply Fahrenheit as input and we are going to get the response as what? Celsius. Yeah. Now, let us configure the source, which is going to be here Fahrenheit. So let's say we are using same column, but here we are going to get minus values because uh, because f equal to c into 9 by 5 plus 32, right? In this case, minus. Anyway, we'll see practically. So we subtract the input and then get the response, which is what Fahrenheit to Celsius result here. Map this to what you call output field. Once you select this checkbox, right, automatically it will be sent to what? Output fields. That's it. Yeah. So rest is same as what we discussed earlier. So which means here also we can add under the target to capture Fahrenheit Celsius response. So now let us say we are going to capture normal output. So for every web services transformation, guys, there will be two targets. One normal target, other target with false. And then say okay. Right? So here also we can add another target in case there are any false, we can capture them in the second target. Yeah, so now let us configure the target properties. Yeah. So target for connection. So click on select and supply what the target file name. Yeah. So which is what Fahrenheit to Celsius. So web services Fahrenheit to Celsius result.txt. Yeah. And then say okay. Yeah. Now these are new, right? You can't see any target fields and mapping. We cannot perform because by default all the fields we talked about it. Now let us talk about second target for second operation. So which is false. Yeah. Yeah. So web services, which is F2C false dot txt. Yeah. It's better to provide meaningful names, guys, so that just by looking at the name, we can identify like what happened. That's it. Now let us save it. And done. Yeah. Yeah. So let us refresh this. So can you see, guys, now we got 12 rows. Yeah. So 6 rows for first operation and rest of the 6 rows from second operation. Right. So you can see first operation result 6 rows, second operation result 6 rows. So all the rows got transferred successfully without any faults. Both the conversions C to F to C, sorry, C to F and F to C, no faults. That's it. So we can verify the results of the target. This I think we've done, so just for me, this we need to see. Yeah, can you see, guys, we got negative values. So that's what we expected, right? Yeah. Let us calculate and see whether we got the right result or not. Yeah. So Celsius to Fahrenheit. We just have to minus this. Yeah. Let us say we supply Fahrenheit value, right? So F minus 32 into 5 by 9, right? So what is F? 1 minus 32 into 5 divided by 9. Can you see? We got minus 17.22 or whatever. Same thing we could able to see as part of the result. Yeah. Clear, guys? Now we can repeat the same thing even for second row, which is 4, I think. Yes, 4. Let us calculate that. Yeah. So 4 minus, yeah, F minus 32, right? So 4 minus 32 into 5 divided by 9. Can you see? We got 15.5 in the target, right? So we can see here, same result. That's it. So this is how one can start what we call performing the conversion and look at the result here. That's it, guys. So both the operations results we could able to get it quite easily by using web services transformation. Yeah. So I hope it is clear to everyone. Any questions, guys, from anybody? Anil, Prasad, all. Adi. All clear, huh? I think you can hear me, right? I hope I'm not talking to myself.
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So I think this is one of the good transformation, guys, or we can say bit transformation. With what? Easiest transformation. So far we just talked about like how to limit the number of rows by using filter and router, and we've also talked about how to invoke what we call third-party web service from ISCS, right? Two things we have discussed. Now, let us talk about like how to perform group by operations, yeah, like max, min, sum, average, variance, standard deviation, first, last, and so on. So, because it's one of the most widely used operation in data warehousing industry, because let us take one customer or CRM domain where, so we need to calculate top your customers for today's business or for this particular quarterly business. In that case, so we need to group set of letter records for part of customer type equal to 1, or customer type is equal to 1. Yeah. So likewise, you can think of many, like if you take pharma industry, let us say the number of products or number of medications that have been produced with a medication type as what? Paracetamol, whatever. Yeah. So likewise, you can group set of letter records based on what? Group by column, like a product type, or customer type, or customer category, or vendor type, or supplier type, and so on. So we can think of many examples to perform what? Group by operation. Fine. So now to perform this group by operation, we can use what? Aggregator transformation. So which is going to help us in order to take care of what we call grouping set of related records. Yeah? So now let us say the first and foremost thing that we are going to use here is what? Count. How to calculate count of similar records in each group. Yeah. So let us try doing that. Yeah. So let's log on to IICS and create a mapping from the scratch. Yeah. So click on create. Can you see here? So we can just sum symbol, right? So which will be used to perform group by operations. Yeah? Now let us configure source. In this case, so if we take our source data, right, we can use what C1 as group by column, which is this. So where we can see C1 equal to 1. There are 4 rows over here. So we should get a count of 4. And if we group, there's a second value, which is 2, 4, count will be 1. 7, count will be 1 because there's only one row in it. Yeah? Let us try doing it. Source file connection. So let us take a source file and select. Yeah, so now remember, in order to perform aggregation, right? So we need what? Two inputs. One, the column or columns that were used for group by. And second, column or columns which will be used for calculation. Remember that. Yeah. So these two things should be taken as input in order to perform what? Appropriate aggregation. Fine. So let us try applying these two inputs so that we can get to see the aggregation result. Yeah. So let's configure this. Yeah. So this is origin is SAQ1, 3 columns. Next, we can add group by field. Let's say C1. Yeah. So logically, if you want to perform any aggregation operations, right, it's always advisable to use what numeric values. Especially we use, let's say, max, min, average, sum, whatever, right? So they expect input as what? Numeric. If you supply even non-numeric, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Yeah? Which is not, sometimes you'll not get reliable results. That's why it is always advisable. One, we can perform conversion, which is not advisable. And second way is what? If you could able to change the type, the source level itself, which is the safest option. Yeah? So click on edit metadata and select, let's say, type, which is integer over here. Yeah? Now let us configure the aggregator transformation. Can you see we have already selected C1, which is already done. So here first part is done, right? And second part we need to perform. Yeah? So for that, we can go to aggregate. And if you look at these properties, right, can you see here there's a plus button. You can click on it. In that, we can supply, let's say we are focusing on getting the count of similar records, in the sense for each group how many records that we have it, and the result will be either integer or any other numeric type. Yeah, and then say okay. Yeah, click on configure. Yeah, can you see here? Go to built-in functions and select aggregate And one of the aggregation function is what? Count. And column that we use for calculation, which is what? C2, let us say. That's it. See, it is done. So this way, we could able to get the result of count. Say okay. And then configure the target. Yeah. Yeah. So target is, let us say here, aggregator result, where we are trying to capture count of similar records from each group. Yeah. So that's what we are trying to do it here. Yeah. And then say okay. Okay. Now let us apply mapping name. Mapping aggregator. Yeah, that is fine. General I will give because it perform other aggregations also, and save it. Now we can run this mapping and monitor it. Yeah. So meantime, if you have any questions, guys, please start to shout out. Not the oh. This is the first example we are trying to carry out by using aggregated transformation. Yeah. Yeah. So let us try to refresh this. Yeah, you have recording, right? So don't worry. So it's easy, right? So you can just play the recording, get the results. Yeah, can you see here? In value 1, there are 4 records. Grouping all the records under, let's say, value 1. Under 4, we have 1 only. Under 7, we have 1. That's it. Like how to calculate group of similar records over here, right? Now, let us try to apply some of the aggregations, like we have a sum, average, and so on, right? So we can perform it by using this same mapping, or we can also create a new mapping. Why? Because we need group by numeric, column that used for calculation also numeric, because sum or max or mean average, they all would work against with what? Numeric type. So let us try to create new mapping with relevant types. Yes. So let's configure source first. Yeah. So let's take same file as input. Yes, now here itself, we can change the types for C1 and C2. Yeah. So go to options and select edit metadata. Let's say type is integer, and second column also type is what? Integer. Yeah. Okay, fine. So this is the first change we need to do. As we can perform conversion, anything is fine, but best practice is what? Avoid type conversion as much as you could. That's one of the best practice, right? So let us configure the aggregated transformation. So incoming fields, C1, C2 integer types. C3 anyway, we are not using it, so we don't need to care. Yes. Now, as per theory, this is same. There's no difference. So one column, let's say, will be used for group by, other column will be used for that calculation. So let us try doing it. So click on plus and add C1, which is a group by, and then we can use appropriate aggregation. So click on plus and supply aggregation result, which is sum result. Yeah. And sum will be, usually it will be a double, a decimal. Yeah. And then say okay. So then you can click on configure and select built-in functions. Look at here. So in that we can see one of the categories what? Aggregate. So in this, let's say we are focusing on sum here. So click on sum, where we can select what? C2 column. Because we are using C2 as C2 for calculation. Yeah. That's it. Now the expression is valid. That's all. Now let's configure the target. So target file connection. Click on select. Select create new at runtime. So here we are using what? Aggregator sum result dot txt. Yeah. That's it. Say okay. Can you see here? The file name already exists. So some result with the numeric type. Yeah. Yeah. So that's it. Now let us apply mapping name here, which is mapping underscore aggregator. In that sum we are trying to perform, right? Let's save it. Yeah. After that, you can just click on run. Sorry, monitor it. Yeah. So meantime, have any questions, guys? Please try to shoot out.
Yeah, I have one question. So,
Yes, sir.
usually in aggregator, we do the sorted input selection for optimizing it, right? So
Right.
where is that option to select that the input is sorted?
Yeah, but that option is applicable if the input data is already sorted, Adi. In this
Right.
case, we have not done it, so we cannot select it. So just to answer your question, so we can just go to mapping, where in advanced options, right? We could able to see that option, Adi. So
Okay.
go to advanced, where we can see sorted input. Can you see here?
Yes. Okay.
So it's
Thank you.
same as Power Center. Power Center also we have got same option, but prerequisite to make use of this option is what? Sorter should have been already used it. Yeah. And we'll see that in the next examples. Are they?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So yes, I think it's completed. So we can go and look at the result. Yeah. Can you see here? In one, there are 4 rows, right? So which are summed up. Let us see the result. 1, 1, 1, right? 3 plus 99, 99. Oh, no, this one. C2, right? 18, 2 plus 18, 20, 20 plus 18, 38, 38 plus 10, 48. So we got 48, right? That's it. Simple sum. Yeah. Within each group. So second group, 4, and column, second column data is what? C2, 5. Same we can see as part of sum result. C1, 7. So we can see C2, 8. Sum is 8 because there's only one row in it. Yeah. So that's it. Like how one can start performing this particular aggregation operation. Clear, guys? Yeah. Now let's answer this question, you know, practically. So here we have used the fields, which is what numeric fields. That's okay. Now, if you want to, what do you call use this sorted input, right? Let us say we select sorted input without any sorted transformation. So it expects keys because sorting, right? So you can see in this message itself label, right? Indicates input data is pre-sorted by groups. Select this option only if the sorted data to the aggregated. See here, sorted data. Or else it will throw error, nothing else. So let's say we are just selected and let us save and run. Yes, let's wait for the result. Yeah, so let us try to refresh it. See, it got failed. So the reason is what? Expecting keys to be ascending because sorted input it's expecting, right? So to answer that, we can use what? This sorted transformation. Yeah. That's it. So before that, let me talk about some more aggregations. Then I'll talk about advanced options. Yeah. So let me take out this. Yeah. So go to aggregate and add some more operations. Let's have max. Yeah. So max result. Yeah. And it will be, let us say, double. Then say okay. Click on configure. Yeah, select built-in functions. And say max here, right? So again, here also we are using C2 for the calculation. Yeah. Yeah, validate. Say okay. So target, we don't need to do anything by default, all will be mapped. We know that, right? Let's save and run. Yeah. So meantime, if you have any questions, you can ask, guys. Yeah, so let us try to refresh it. Yeah, can you see here? 3 rows. That is common because we've got 3 groups, right? 1, 4, and 7, I think, right? Yes. Now let us see the maximum within each group, right? So there's 18. Let us say SEQ 15. 1 last 3, right? So we got 18, which is a maximum. Yeah. So compared to 10 and 2, right? The rest is same. So which is only one record in each group, right? So 5, 8, which is same as sum or whatever, right? Because we don't have any more than one row. Anyway, we'll change the data here. Let's say we add one more entry here with let us say here copy paste, and let's say we are using value 4, 2 records right now, and 10 plus 5. So we should get 15 in case of some result. Maximum 10, 5, right? We'll get 5, 10 years, sorry. Now let us see by executing this. Yeah. We can also restart directly here. So you can see restart option, right? Here itself you can get it restarted. So click on it and wait for the result. Yeah. Now we can, I think you guys are observing that instance now is 4, which means 4th time we are trying to run this particular mapping. Yeah. Yes. Now let us try to refresh. So we got the same count because group count is same, right? So we've got only 3 groups. Though we had a new record, that new record is part of group value 4. That is the count is still same, but data would differ if you look at the target. Let us verify that. Yeah.
Hi, sir. Hi, team.
So, yes, please.
Sorry to interrupt you. It is just to inform that all the IDs are working fine. I request everyone to check on your lab readiness. Thank you all.
Fine. Yeah. So can you share that list, madam? Okay. Guys, I hope you all have got the IDs, right? So try to log in and check. Yeah. And see where it's working or not. Yeah. So now we can see the result. Did we execute this? I think I'm done, right? Yeah. So please check your credentials, guys. If it works, then you guys also can start performing hands-on stuff.
Hey, Shravan, you're facing the still?
Yes, I'm unable to connect to the VM. So connecting
Your
button.
credential
Button is
number?
1 minute. 30, 33, 34 mine.
34.
You want the number like mass info CB19?
Yeah, because you didn't inform, you haven't shared your credential in the chat before, right?
I shared. I think you can see in chart. I've shared you. I sent you the message also, like that on a screenshot. Also, you also replied me like I will look into it. Shared.
Yeah, but still I was looking to the credentials. Okay, 33, right? Okay, allow me 2 minutes. Apart from
And
Shravan, others?
Mine was working previously, but now it's not working.
Oh my God. Guys, once again, I request those who are finding the difficulty in the lab login, please put your credentials in the chat box. I'll take from there. Guys, kindly refresh it, clear all the browsing history, and close the browser. Then try to access in incognito mode or a private window.
Mm.
Yeah, please try for 5-10 minutes, right? So after, if it doesn't work, right, then we'll go with other approach. Yeah.
Shravan, I request to refresh and do it so that
I don't know. I
connect.
see. I deleted my 24 hours history and I tried in incognito, but see, I'm able to log in the lab, but unable to connect to the VM. So I think it's like you need to check from backend. I think so. If I'm unable to log in, that is a history problem.
Connect button is disabled, right? Okay,
Correct.
Hi, Surya Prasad. Hope your challenge is different than Shravan, right? Are you able to log in?
I'm able to log in. Like it was stuck in, like it is stuck in. Check your VM status. So while I'm connecting to lab, it is getting stuck here.
Did you clear your browsing history, all your caches?
Yes. Like I
If not, please do it.
complete. Yeah, completely open new browser. Let me do that.
Do it. Did you check now?
Yes, it is working for me.
Thank you. Disconnect the continuation. Okay, now it's working. Thanks.
Yeah, it's all set, guys. I think lab is fine, right? Yeah, I think we can get started. So one of you please share your desktop, guys. We'll install this agent.
Which one are you talking about? The secure agent?
Yes.
Yeah, I installed and I done 2, 3 mappings also, but again this one EVM got disconnected. I could not show this
Oh, you have some VM connection problem, right? So how
one.
about others, guys? Brahmaya, Avati, Pratap, or
I can share my screen.
yeah, please. Rohit. So others, I request you all to follow the same instructions like what Rohit is going to perform. Let us see that. Yeah. So have you registered this? Yes, it is done. Like looks like you registered only data integration. That's okay. I think we'll focus on data integration only.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now open a mailbox and verify. Rohit,
Yeah, very fine.
I hope you supplied a personal mail ID, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Please log on to that and verify.
Yeah, very
And
fine.
then, yes, supply new password, confirm password.
Yeah, I've given the password.
It's done, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, now we can't see your screen. You can see some other window. Looks like you need to select entire screen,
Is it?
Rohit.
Just a second. Window. Now can you see my screen?
I can see it, but can you switch to some other window?
Okay.
Yes, I
Now?
think now we can see. Yeah, perfect. I think it's fine. Now, yeah, now log on to that Informatica Cloud
Okay.
and open that URL. In mail, you'll have that URL, Rohit. Open the mailbox.
Yeah. My personal mailbox, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have that here. Can type it.
In case if you have any private things, right, you can just stop sharing, open. After that, you can just reshare it.
That's okay.
No,
AP type.
you can just Google it or else go open a mailbox. In that, you'll have complete link, Rohit. Open your
Okay.
Gmail or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I type it, no problem.
Copy and paste.
Yeah.
Fine. Enter. So have you selected AP region as part of registration? Rohit?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Supply your mail ID and use OK and then password. So I request others also to follow the same thing, guys. Click on login. Select administrator. Yes, select runtime environments. Rohit. Yes, perfect. Oh, your agent is ready, right?
No.
See, it is up and running. It's a cloud hosted agent, right? Okay. So click on download secure agent on the right top. Copy this link, that token, and put it in the notepad. Ravi, we'll supply this later. Yes, please paste it here. Yeah. Now click on download. Yeah, wait for a minute. Yeah, wait for a while. Yeah. I hope others also are doing same thing, right? Like whatever Rohit is doing. Yeah. Oh, it's taking this much time. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, go to downloads. Looks like it is done. It's downloading. I don't know, I think 30%, 40% is done.
Downloading. Your voice is echoing. I think it at my end as well.
Yeah, right. When you were unmuted, right? Or muted, right? That time there was no problem, right? Right.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, I can. Even earlier also it was okay, but you cannot hear me, I think now.
My voice is
That,
not. Yeah, my voice is also echoing.
that is fine, I think. Only for some time only, right?
Mm. Taking some time.
Yes. Yeah. So once it is downloaded, right? So we can start installing it with pre-built wizard options. We don't need to do anything. We can go with what? All the default options. So the end of it, it lasts for username, which is the email ID which we registered, and then token. So these two things we need to supply. Yeah. So after that, we need to wait for some time till it brings up all the services. Then we can start performing and so on. That is a procedure we need to follow. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now double click on it. So it is downloaded already. Right. So now we are trying to install, guys. Yeah, just wait. So make sure that you type the right mail ID, Rohit. Yeah. Just double check. And token need to copy. You paste in notepad, right? Get it from there. No. URL doesn't include URL, I think. One second. No. Go there. Go there only. Where did you copy? I think last. Yeah. Need to copy from where? Like double click on it. Open the notepad completely. Full
No, I
stop.
think
Max
that was a different notification.
Let's get the token again. Go to that administrator. Generate install token. No. Cancel. Yeah. Generate install token. Yeah. Copy this. Yeah. Sometimes it will not work. Fine. Let's apply. Let's look for the list. Paste it. Yeah. Register. Yeah, fantastic. So it has taken. Now it will take some time to bring up all the services, guys. Yeah. So yes. So it will take some time. So I request all to follow the same thing, like whatever Rohit has done it. Yeah. So let's take a break, 5 minutes break. By the time we come back, this service will be up and running. Let's take a break, 5 minutes. Yeah. Rohit, try to refresh it. Scroll down. So we need data integration server. Yeah, that is perfect. Guys, now the server is ready to use. Oh, there's an echo. Fine. So we can start performing practical stuff. So I'll share my system. You can also start doing it, Rohit and others. Yeah, fine. So I'll just place this text file, like whatever I'm using, right? It's very simple thing, can also create it, but I'll paste it in the
Yeah.
notepad or chat box. Yeah. Yeah. So this is, you can just create a sample file with the name of SEQ_1. What happened? Okay. So yes, I pasted a sample data in the chat box, guys. So create one folder on a C drive, which is a source folder. Yeah. Yeah. And then paste this content in that file. That's all. So we are using same data just to be on the same page. Yeah. Or else you'll get one result, I'll get one result. We'll go somewhere. Yeah, done. So now let me share my desktop where we can start the what another transformation. Yeah? Yes,
I have some doubt.
aggregator is done. Yes,
Hello.
please.
So suppose so I have like configured the ISS in one laptop. So with the same credential, I log into other laptop and try to use. So that secure agent will be again we need to reinstall or it will be auto use in like previous one.
No, we need to install that local system. Yeah,
So again we need to install.
exactly. Because network might be different, right? You might not have access to your laptop from another system. If you have access, we can use it. If
Okay.
not, normally you'll not have it. So that is why we can install local agent. Yeah.
Okay.
Simon?
Okay, understood. I'm trying to do that now. So I'm facing issue. So one of the service is not up in the secure agent.
Yeah, remember in secure agent, right? We
Mm.
just need only data integration server, Seven. Other
Mm.
servers, other services are not required. If
So
DIS is ready, then we are
common,
okay.
okay, okay. Other servers are up. Only common integration components is stopped.
We can ignore that. Still, it will
Fine.
work for us. Then your environment is fine. We don't need that at all. Yeah.
Okay, fine, fine. Mm.
Okay,
And
perfect. So you can
one more thing. So whatever right my in my VM. So I did this. I did one mapping. So I run that one. So it got success. So but then the new VM when I try to access right, the folder is not found. So the files will be stored in the previous VM which where I did the
yes,
task.
yes. Now, which means in the current VM, you need to create a folder and a file
Okay.
and get access, get it accessible. Yeah.
Okay, understood. Fine. Thanks.
Good. So I think we're all set, right? Now let me try to get it to what? New transformation. Yeah. So let's all be on the same page, guys. So we'll pick up the transformation where there won't be any dependency at all. Yeah. So that all of us can perform hands-on. Yeah. So now please select mappings all. Whereas you can also perform hands-on after session also because you'll have 24-hour access this server. Yeah. Now click on create. Yeah. So we talked about a couple of transformations. Now let us try to focus on another transformation, which is going to be joiner transformation. Yeah. Fine. We didn't talk about it. But in any ETL tool, right? So including data integration microservice, we can perform non-combinable activities and we can also perform combinable activities. Remember that. Yeah? So combinable means we can combine the data from more than one source system. For example, let's say we get the data from state 1 and also from state 2. Then we can combine by using union transformation. That's one of the combinable transformations because the structure is same in both the states, but data differs from state to state. So in that case, so we need to find a way to combine the data. So within the, as part of combination also we have got two subcategories. One, conditional combination and second, non-conditional combination, right? I repeat, one is going to be the conditional combination and second will be non-conditional combination. So let us start with non-conditional combination, the union, right? Where we don't apply any condition and whatever data that we have in the source, same will be combined with other source. That's it. Provided the structure should be same. Let us try doing it practically. One source we already have it. Get, drag and drop second source, guys, all. Yeah, drag and drop second source. So here we could able to see what union transformation. Can you see here? So drag and drop and place it here. You can remove this link if you don't want it. Yeah, yeah, let's say one is connected already, and we can also connect another one, input 2. So please connect it. So because for every source, there is going to be corresponding group. In this case, we can see input 1 and second is what? Input 2. Connect source input 1, source 1 with input 2.
How do we do arrange all or arrange as icon in this?
Sorry, how do we?
How do we do arrange like we do in Power Center? We can arrange all the components in the
Can
mapping
see
design.
here arrange all. Arrange
Oh,
all.
okay, got it. Thank you.
Fine. Yeah. Now try to add union transformation, guys. Yeah. So connect source to input 1, source 1 to input 2. Yeah. Done? Now, so let's go to Windows Explorer, where we have seen SEQ1 file, right? So this one. Now let's also have one more file, which is SEQ2. Yeah. So create one more file or just copy and paste this file SEQ1 and rename it to what? SEQ_2. Let it be same data, doesn't matter for us. What matters here is whether we could able to combine the data from both the files or not. So that is going to be the key challenging part over here.
So, like, is there any possible that we can do one session with the database?
Yeah, very much. I'm going to show anyway.
Okay.
So yes, very much possible. Yeah, now let us configure two sources, union and target. Let us try to configure. Let us start with the first source and select this guys. I request everyone to select the source and then, or else we can just click on maximize in the right bottom. We can see maximize button. Click on that and then select source. And select connection. If you have already created a connection, or else create a connection by using new connection. Yeah. So where is not done, right? Click on new connection and supply the names. Yeah. And select here, let's say flat file. Then select random environment. Then directory. That's it. So and then say, okay. So please do this because some are doing at the first time, right? Yeah, I hope it is done, right? And then say, okay, guys. After that, we can see this connection name here and default single object. Now, click on select. I hope you all would have created SEQ1 file, right? You can scroll down and select SEQ1.txt file. Say okay. Yeah. So here, the structure contains what? 3 columns with a string type and corresponding precision. Yeah, I hope you also will have the same thing. Make sure that we have these three columns with the string type, because from other source also we expect the same thing. That's why we are going one at a time, that right at the first time. Yeah, so that is done. And next step, so we same process we need to repeat it for second source. Before we get there, make sure that you made a copy of SEQ1. You'll get like this. Rename this to SEQ2.txt. That's it. Please perform that. Yeah. So once you just rename, right? If you want, you can delete some rows, or you can just keep it as it is. For example, in this case, first two rows are same as file one. That is fine. Let it be same or different, doesn't matter for us. So make sure that you made a copy. Next question. Now let's go to unit transformation. Make sure that you link from source to input one, source one to input two. Yeah. Yeah. Now click on union transformation. I hope all done, right, guys? Yeah. Click on union transformation, maximize and configure the union transformation. So here, the first thing, click on incoming fields. So in this, we could able to see input one group and input two group. Yeah. There are two groups, right? And in the bottom, we can see what input one, three columns, right? So input two also we have got similar columns. Yeah. Let us see that. Let me configure this as well. Source one. Because we have not done it, we cannot say it. Let us do that. So select source one connection. Then click on select button. Then search for SEQ. Yeah, see here, SEQ2.txt. Then say OK. That's it. Here also, we need to go to fields and make sure we got the same structure. This we need to confirm because our main input for union transformation is what? We need to have the same structure. Yeah. Yeah, done right. Next, please select the union transformation. I hope all are doing right. Yes or no, guys? Yeah. So please select union transformation and maximize it. Now we could able to see two groups. Yes, structure is same for both the groups. Earlier we have seen only one. Now we can see two because we've also configured second source. Yeah. Then guys, I hope all of you could able to see the same thing. Yeah. Now go to output fields where we can add the output fields like what we expect as a result of the union transformation. So now we can have the selection of these fields from the source or from input group, or we can also add our own. Let us start from the first option, which is select from input group. So please select that. Yeah, click on select from input group. Yeah, can I see here? We have got same structure, right? So we can select all. Click on this double or redirection operator here. Or we can also select from input too, same thing. So because structure is same both the cases, add output fields by copying fields from input group. That's what we are doing it. Which means in the output, we are going to expect C1, C2, and C3 data.
So we can select any input group.
Yes, any one is also fine. Say okay. Now can you see here? Structure is same both the cases, right? Whatever group you select, it doesn't matter at all. Yeah, either input one or input two. Yeah. Next, we can go to field mapping. Can you see, guys? On the left side, incoming fields. On the right side, output fields. We need to make sure that mapping is done perfectly. Before that, can you see here? First, please select input one group here. Yeah. And then field map options, default is what? Manual. Let us do it manually. One and second one we'll do it auto so that both will be covered in one go. So now select C1, get it mapped to C1 on the right side. Same way. So we need to do it for C2 and C3. That's it. This is a manual mapping, right? Yes. Yeah, please perform this. After that, we'll get into second group. Yeah. Now please select second input group, which is input 2. Yeah, can you see here? Here it is not mapped because we have not done it. So now we can see field map options manual, right? Here, please select automatic. Yeah. Automatic option will be used in case if we have input fields and output fields with the same name, with the same type, whatever, right? In that case, we can select automatic. See, automatic it got mapped. In the map field, we can see the C1, C2, and C3. They got mapped automatically. Yeah. Yeah. I hope all done, right? That's it. Which means we are trying to combine the data from both the groups, input 1, input 2, with the same structure. We have done it. Now we can just restore this. The next question, we can just go to target and configure the target properties. So please maximize and configure the target. Before we do that, we can go to incoming fields. Can you see, guys? So C1, C2, C3, they're all derived from union transformation. So we can see the origin over here, yeah, which is union transformation. Yeah. Yeah, now let's go to target and select target connection. If it is not created, right, for new users, right, click on new connection and supply the directory as what? C:/target. And then target folder, make sure that you have created it on the C drive. Yeah. Yes. Now supply the target file name. So click on select. And select create new at runtime here. Supply the file name. Let's say here union result based on two sources, right? Dot txt. Yeah. Yeah. And then say okay. That's all about the configuration. You can just restore this and supply the mapping name. Mapping underscore union with the two sources. Yeah. and save it. Yes, it is valid, right? I hope it is valid from your side also. In case if you get stuck with something, please let me know, guys. We can get it fixed. Yeah, and then run this. Click on my jobs. Yeah. Yeah, so now try to refresh this. So it's completed. Can you see, guys? Source 1, we got 6 rows, and from source 2, there are 3 rows. If you put together, it will be 9 rows. Let us verify that in statistics. Yeah, can you see source 1, 3, and source 6 all are combined, which means the union transformation does what? Union all, which means result would contain the duplicates. Remember, yeah. So now let us verify the data. So we can see it. Total put together, it is what? 9 rows, 6 plus 3. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And order is not need not have to maintain the same as source systems. We don't care, right? As long as we have complete data in the target, that's fine for us. Yeah. That's it. Like how union transformation is going to work. Now let us try adding one more source and see whether we could be able to perform combining the data from 3 source systems or not. Answer is yes anyway. We'll do one example, then we'll come out from that. Yeah. So to perform that, add one more source over here, guys. Yeah. Then now we can just get it mapped to another group, which is a new group. See, if we just map from source 2 to new group, automatically third group added. Or else we can also add it manually. To do that, maximize union. And so let's say go to incoming fields. Can you see, guys, on the right top, there is a plus button. You can just click on that. Yeah. New group. Yeah. See, fourth group got added over here. So this is one way to add another group. And other way, I've already shown it as part of the mapping itself. If you try to map it to new group, so new group will get added automatically. If you want to change the name, we can do it. Yeah, by clicking on properties of union transformation. Yeah. Fine. Now, source 2, or let's say third source, right? We can go to source and I'll just copy and paste. Yeah. So SEQ1, copy and paste. Then supply the name. Let's say SEQ31, because third file from same SEQ1 we are generating, right? Same data, 6 plus 6 plus 3. We should get 15 rows in that target. Yeah? Let us not do any change because union does what? Union all, which is it is going to combine all the rows irrespective of whether we have got duplicate records or unique records. Yeah. So now let us configure third source over here. Maximize this. Click on source. And select source. Then click on select. Yeah. So here we have created a new file, right? Which is SEQ31. Yeah. So please select that. Third file derived from first file, which is SEQ1. Yeah. Done, guys, all? Rohit, Shravan, Adi, Pratap, all. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Fine. Now say okay. Yes, that's it. So here also we could able to see the same structure because it is copied from SEQ1. So you can see origin here, right? That's it. Now we can just restore. That's all. We just have to. Now let us say if you don't do anything, right? Let us save it. Yeah. So it's invalid. So we can just click on validate button where we can see field mapping is empty because we did field mapping in union transformation, right? So that's empty. So click on union transformation and go to field mapping. Yeah. So input 1 is done here. Input 2 is done here. Input is done, right? And then input 3, which is not done. So that is why we got that error. Yeah? So let us try to map it. So C1 to C1, C2 to C2, C3 to C3. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. And save it. Now let us see the issue. See, now the mapping is valid. So this way we could able to configure the mapping without any issues. Yeah. So with this, we understood what, how to plug in the third source and get it connected to unit transformation and perform field mapping. Then the mapping has become valid. Now let us run and look at the effect of third source system in the target. Yeah, so now let us refresh it. See, it is successful. We expected what 15 rows in the target. Yeah. So that's it, guys. Like how to combine the data from three sources. Here, we could able to see what all the rows which are combined from three sources. Yeah. Source 1, source 2, source 3, and put together, they have become what? 15 rows. 6 plus 6 plus 3. That's it. Like how one can able to combine the data from multiple sources where the structure should be same. Remember that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let us verify that. In the target, because we have only completed like how to combine the data from three sources, but we have not verified in the target. Once we verify, right, then we can make sure that result is in par with what we expect. You know, let us try looking at it. So click on target file. Can you see here? All 15 rows can be seen as part of this particular target. I hope all of you have got the same result. Yes or no, guys? That's it. Yeah. So this is how one can start performing what the data combination. Yeah. Yes. I have all done, right? Yeah. Now let us try getting into what we call next example. So far we talked about combinability, right? So, but non-conditional combination. So now the question, as I said earlier, we can also perform data combination with a condition. To do that, we can use lookup transformation or joiner transformation. Remember that, right? So yes, we'll do that on tomorrow session. Today, because it will take a lot of time, today we'll focus on simple topic. The topic will be what? Task. How are we going to create a task? So far what we did was, we kept on talking about how to build mappings and get it executed. But in reality, what we need to do, but in real projects, right, we don't do that in that way. What we do, we create a mapping, we create a task, which we call mapping task, and get it called from task flow, either in sequence or in parallel, so that we can meet the end requirement in that way. But for learning purpose, what we did, it's okay. But in reality, we should always create corresponding task for every mapping, which we call mapping task. So I request all of you to select mapping task, because task is going to be the runnable element, guys. Because if we take any object-oriented programming, how it works actually, it works based on what? Classes and objects. Because so if you take a class, it is going to be a template or a blueprint or a skeleton. Remember that, right? So, and how do you make it what you call runnable element, which is a class? That's where we need to create an instance of a class, which we call object. What is the object? In our case, mapping is going to be what we call a class, and the mapping task is going to be what? Object. Once you have object, right, then we can get it invoked within a task flow, which means because this particular Informatica Cloud or Informatica Power Center also, it has been built based on what? Object orientation, like what are the concepts that we discussed. Yeah. Now please select mapping task and click on what? Create. Yeah. Now that we are going to create the first mapping task based on the mapping that we built it just now. Yeah. So mapping task underscore for what? Let us say union mapping, right? So because we built union mapping, that will be converted to a corresponding mapping task. Yeah. And select, yeah, I hope it is done, right? Yeah. Now, see, in order to execute any task, right, we have to have the runtime environment, so which is secure agent. So please select that. Now, can you see here? This is mandatory. You can see red star button, right? Red star symbol, which indicates the mandatory. So click on select, guys. And supply any mapping. For example, let's say here we are trying to focus on what? Union, right? Let us select the union transformation here.
So in comparison to the Power Center, would this be a session task or a workflow?
Yes, you are right. Mapping class is equivalent with session task.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And then
Please
the
select.
task flow would be the workflow, right?
Sorry.
Task flow would be the workflow then, right?
Exactly. You are right. You are right.
Okay.
Yeah. So please select this. So that's it. So once you select, right, we can see in preview, right, just to make sure whether we have selected the right mapping or not. So we have added 3 source systems corresponding 3 input groups, which are mapped already in this union transformation and connected to a target. So that's what we did just now, right? That's it. Next step, click on next. Now, can you see here? If you want, we can also schedule this. Yeah. So we can just select it. Nothing is there, which is nothing is configured as part of pre-built schedule. If not, we can also click on new and create our own schedule. Yeah. So schedule for, let's say, union distance. If you want, we can add it and start time, time zone, and we can also specify every hour, whatever, right? Like periodicity, all that we can do it here. Yeah. This is a common, or it's similar to Power Center, like what we do with Power Center. So let's go with what on-demand execution. So first option is what? On-demand execution. So whenever you want, we can execute this particular mapping. Yeah. Now, can you see here? Next option. Remember, by default, we can send an email for my organization. So global level also, we can configure mail ID or set of email IDs. So they all will get the notification based on the failure or warning or success. Wherever you specify, if you want to capture only failure messages, you can just supply here, or warning means we can supply it. Successful email notification we can supply it. Yeah. For example, let's say success case I'll supply my email ID. Let's say gmail.com. Yeah. Or if you want, let's say notification, all the cases, warning case or failure case, we can also just use it. Yeah. Any number of mail IDs can be added over here. Yeah. And then pre and post commands. In case if you want to perform execution of activities before this task execution, this is after task execution, like flushing operations or cleanup operations, we do it, right? If you want, we can just specify, it's optional. And number of log files by default 10. If you want, we can change. Each log file size will be 5 MB, which is 50 MB log file size. Yeah. So change handling by default asynchronous. If you want, we can change it. Can you see here, guys? We'll talk about parameterization. This is where we specify parameter file directory or parameter or directory where we have parameter file and then name of the file here. Yeah. So we can also specify cloud hosted if you want it, or else local is always advisable thing because we'll have full what you call flexibility. Yeah. So more we'll talk about that. So we have got we use verbose columns, or else standard is the best option because this will hamper performance. Then PDO options like ELT, right? We can also configure. I'll talk about them probably in the last session where I'll talk about debugging plus performance tools, like what are the tuning techniques that we can apply at task level, or task flow, or source, or target, or transformation, or mapping, whatever. So we can think of them in the last day because we have not covered transformations, right? That's why I'm not talking about it. And click on finish. Yes, it is saved. Yeah. Now you can just verify this in the preview, right? Or whatever is configured, right? We could able to see. So here we configured notifications. Rest, I think we have not done it. We discussed, but we have not done any configuration. So we can see here source one, source two, 3 source systems, 1 target. Yeah. That's it. So now we can run this. Yeah, so let us try to refresh. Yeah, can you see guys? Here also we got the same count, which is 15 rows, right? Now you can just click on statistics. Here also you can see the same thing, like whatever we have seen earlier. That's it. Yep. But this is the right approach. Yeah. So because that's what we need in reality. Yeah. So that's it, guys. If you want to restart again, we can still do that. Even this is also not the right thing, because in reality, we go and build task flows where normally we cannot meet end requirement just by using one task, right? We'll have a set of tasks. So which means we are going to make use of this task, one or more tasks which can be executed either in sequence or in parallel. We'll see that later, but that's what is going to be the reality to build or to meet any business requirement. Yeah. Yeah. See, it is completed now, right? So that second instance, right? We can see here 2, which is second instance. So instance ID is what? 2. Yeah. Now result will be same as earlier. There won't be any change. See, we have just created task to execute it. Nothing else. Rest everything is same as earlier. Yeah. Result is same. Yeah. After that, if you want to alter the data or whatever, right? That we'll see. Yeah. So later. So that's it, guys. Like how one can start performing combination and how to create mapping task and configure appropriate operation to get the job done. So now we can verify the mail because we configured mail, right? Let us see whether we got any mail. So we have not got it. So we'll see in this. Yeah, it will take some. Did I give right ID or not? So logically it should come immediately. So we need to check task. Yeah. Okay, I gave wrong email ID. That's a problem. That's why you get it. So let's go and change that. Go to schedule. So here, and now comes HS validation. Fine. Yes. Click on finish. Here we can verify this here. Yeah, that's fine. Then click on run again. Yeah. Yes. Now let us try to verify. It's still running. Yeah. So auto refresh, if you switch from one window to other window, right? It will refresh automatically. Unless we have to do it manually. That's a front end only, guys. But in reality, we don't need to do that because in the server side, they will be executed automatically. You will see the result. Just to monitor from front end only, we need to refresh and see. That if you're on the same page, if you switch, it will just refresh it automatically. Yeah. Yes, it is completed successfully. Now we can start looking at the data and the target, which is same as earlier, there is no change. Yes, there is no change, but order might differ from run to run, guys, because we never know which source system executed first or last, whatever, because it's a parallel processing, right? Whichever thread has got access, right, that we evaluate. That could be first or second or third, we don't know. So that's, see, we got a mail here, mapping task union. You can clearly see here, org ID, org name, start time, mapping task name, and then mapping name. See here. So we give mapping task name is this, mapping name is this, and then sources, three source systems, all target and target file name. See here, everything can be seen here. Then success, 15 success rows. So this particular statistics, we are going to get it as part of the mail from this particular organization. So that's it, guys. Like how one can build a mapping task and look at the result or notification in mail or results we have already seen in that target. Yeah. So that's all for today, guys. If you have any questions, you can shoot out now. Yeah. Oh, recording. So, okay, Anil, I'll just check up with them. So I'll make sure that you'll get it up. I'll talk to them. Yeah. Sorry for that. You'll get it anyway. Yeah. Fine, Anil. Rohit, you'll get recordings. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.